This is a great story. So I grew up going to high school in the late 70s, early 80s. And during that time, the refusnik movement with the Soviet Jews was becoming, it was coming to light. And I got very involved through, because of my involvement with BBYO, this is something that I'd latched onto. And I would go to solidarity rallies in New York City. I would, talk to newspapers as a teenager. I got very involved and very passionate about this cause. And one of my, my world history class, I wrote a paper on refusniks focusing on Natan Sharansky. And I followed his career, his jail, and then his being released and going to Israel. And then as, the Soviet Union collapsed and people could move, that kind of went away. And in 2010, I went to the Federation General Assembly in New Orleans. And our federation had, our delegation ended up having a private meeting with Natan Sharansky. So there we are in a conference room, probably about a dozen of us sitting around a conference table. And he was talking about his role at the time and how to get people passionate about Israel again and what we could do. And then it came to the Q&A question, part of the session. And, I raised my hand and I had a comment. I said, but first I want to thank you. And he says, for what? I said, because when I was in high school, I wrote a paper about you and I got an A. So it was a great moment. And then when we were in Israel with my family in 2012, and he had just been appointed to the Commission on the Women of the Wall, trying to resolve the issue of the women at the wall. And we were doing a group B'nai Mitzvah at Robinson's Arch. So we couldn't be at the main part of the wall. We had to be at the further section of the wall, which is known as Robinson's Arch, because we had girls and boys. And my older daughter was reading Torah. She was going to be reading Torah. And all of a sudden, the rabbi who was leading our trip says, I need everyone to stop. I want you to look up there. And who was standing there? Sharansky. And he was coming to observe and figure out what was going on and how to resolve this issue. So there's a lot of Bashert in that way.